Hello everyone. So today we are going to see the difference between final, finalize and finally. So let us see first of all what is a final. So final is a keyword and final is used to apply restrictions on variable, methods and classes, and it is used with variables, methods and classes, and final is executed only when we call it. So let us see the example for this. So let us see this. Let me comment out this. Now first of all we'll see how can we create this. We'll use here final keyword with the variable. So here I have created one class. In that class I have declared here a variable a, and here I have used the keyword that is final. So final is a keyword used to apply restriction. So here we have declare a variable with the final keyword. That means if we declare variable with the final keyword, so that variable value we can't change. So here we have declared. So what I will do, first of all I will try to print here, then I will try to change the value. Here here you can see we can get here a error. The final local variable a cannot be assigned. So we have to comment out this. Let's save this. Control F11 for running the application. Test is printing here. But if we try to assign any value, here you can see Eclipse is showing us the error. The final local variable a cannot be assigned because it is declared with the final keyword. Final keyword is used to apply restriction. We can't change the value of variable which is declared with the final keyword once we assign the value to that variable. So if I comment out this, you can see that the error is gone. So if I remove this final keyword, let's save this. Here you can see the error is gone. So uh, if I give here a final, here you can see error is coming. So final is used to, here you can see final is used to apply the restriction on variables, method and classes. So we see in example how it is applying restriction on variable. Now let us see how it is apply restriction on methods. So now what I will do, I will create here a method, already created here a method em1, and here we are using the final keyword. This is the method, right? So what I will do, I will execute this method. So here you can see I have created object and here we are calling this method. So let's save this and let's run this, run as the application. It is running and printed hi, right? Now what I will do, I will create one another class with the name a, which is extending from the class test. And what I will do, I will override this em1 method, try to override, but here we are getting the error, cannot override the final method from the test. So here the method declared with the final keyword, we can't override that method. Here you can see we are getting the error. If I remove this final, the error is gone. You can see that there is no error. But if I use here a final keyword, here you can see we are getting the error, cannot override the final method from the test. So the method which is declared with the final keyword, that method we can't override. So let me comment out this. Now Can we overload this method? Yes, you can overload the method declare with the final keyword. So here you can see I have loaded this m1 method and we are not getting any error. So if I try to execute, it will also execute. So here we call this to overloaded method. If I execute this, run as Java application, run. Okay, here you can see hi and 10 is coming. So we are passing here a 10 and from m1 this is printing a. So we have seen final with the variable method. Let us see with the classes. So now let us see how can we use final keyword with the classes. So let's go to the Eclipse. What I will do before this test class, I will give here a final keyword. Now here we are getting the error. What is the error? The type A cannot be subclass of the final class test. So if we declare any class with the final keyword, we can't create child of that. So here you can see type A cannot be subclass of the final class test. That means we can't inherit this A from the class test. We are getting the error. So if you want to perform any such restriction on the class, then we can use this final keyword at the class level. So if I delete this, we will not get any error. You can see that there is no error. So this is about the final keyword. Now next we'll see about the the next is finally. We have seen about final. So finally is a block used in Java exception handling to execute important code after try catch block. Finally block execute whether an exception occurs or not. It is mainly used for closing the resources. It is used with try catch block in the exception handling. Finally block execute as soon as the execution of try catch block is completed without depending on the exception. So now let's see the practical of this. I have already one example. Let me copy this and I will explain this with this example. So let us see. Let me comment out this first. Now here you can see. So here is a try block. Here is a finally block. So here you can see. Here we will get runtime exception. Why? Because we are dividing 10 by 0. So what we have discussed here, so finally block execute whether an exception occurs or not. So let's see. Let's save this, Control F11, run as Java application. So here you can see finally execute and this is a error. So here error is happening. So here we will get runtime error. So finally block is executed whether the error is happen or not happen. Let's see. Here we are getting the error. In that case this finally is executing. You can see that high is coming. If I will replace this 0 with the 2, now there is no error. So let us see whether the final is executing or not. run as Java application. Here you can see finally is executing. So this is a speciality of final. Whether the exception occurs or not, it will be executed. So it is used for the whatever resources are open that if you want to close. So let's suppose what is the use case of finally. So you are working with, let us suppose, JDBC. Then in the try block you return the JDBC code, you return the JDBC code. Then there in the try block you got error. So if you got the error at the time where you got error, from that the below code will not be executed. And let's suppose before that error we got the connection with the database, we got the connection with the database. So after this error, if you want to close this connection with the database, you can write logic in the finally block like connection dot close. So irrespective of this error, this will be executed, and finally it will close the connection with the database at the end of the program. So for this reason, closing the any resources in your application, that code mainly written in the finally block, because it is executed irrespective of the any exception occurred or not. So this is about finally. And after try we can directly use the finally, otherwise let me comment out this, after catch also you can use. So here you can see I am using after catch block. So try, here I am handling the error, handling the exception, and if I execute this, run as the application, here you can see from catch and from finally. So if I print here exception, control F11, Java application finally is executed. So finally you can use after try block, or you can also use after the catch block, and it is executed irrespective of the exception will occur, otherwise not occur. So this is about the finally block. Now the next and last is finalize. So finalize is a method in a Java. Finalize method is used to perform cleanup processing just before an object is garbage collected. It is used with the objects. Finalize method is executed just before object is destroyed. So finalize method is executed just before the object is destroyed. The finalize method is belong to the object class. Now let us see the example of finalize method. I have already created here example. Let me copy this, go to the Eclipse. So here I will paste. First of all, we will see the where is finalize method is available. It is available in object class. So press Ctrl Shift T if you are using the Eclipse IDE. So then you will get here this window. Then here you have to type object. You will get here matching items. In that java.lang you choose this. In this I Ctrl Shift T object, and after going to object press Ctrl O and type here a finalize. You will get here a finalize, and here you can see finalize method is present in object class, but it is deprecated from the Java 9 version. so it is deprecated since 9. Here you can see, so this is the deprecated sign. So you can see that it is present in the object class, right? The next what we have seen, so finalize is executed just before object is destroyed. So let's see the example of this. So what I will do here, let me comment out this. So here I have created one class called test, and here I have created one object. Now here I am assigning this object to the null because I want to destroy it. So here I am calling system.gc garbage collector. So before this object is garbage collected, this method will be called. So let's execute this. I am not calling here anywhere, you can see there is, we are explicitly not calling the finalize method. You can see that in this whole program we are not explicitly calling the finalize method. So if I execute this Java application, okay, here you can see finalize method is called. You can see that we have overridden this finalize and it is executing. Finalize method is called. On the console also you can see that. So we are not explicitly calling. So why it is executed? Finalize method is executed just before object is destroyed. So we are calling this garbage collector. We are calling this garbage collector for what reason? To destroy this object T. So as we have discussed, finalize method is executed just before object is destroyed. So that's why this finalize method is destroyed. Sorry, the finalize method is called before the object is destroyed. Now this is about one object. Now what I will do, I will create another object and also I want to destroy it, so I will assign that to the null. Now let us see how many times the finalize method will be called. So Ctrl F11, run as Java application. So here you can see finalize method is called 2 times. Why? Because there are 2 objects pointing to the null. So here the garbage collector will destroy how many objects? 2. So for every object this finalize method is called. So before destroying this T1, once it is called, and next for the T1 also it is called. So we are getting the finalize method called 2 times. So if I again create a third object and assign to the null and again call the garbage collector, now how many times the finalize method should be executed? 3 times. Ctrl F11, Java application. So here we go, finalize method is called. How many times you are getting? 3 times, because here 3 objects will be destroyed. So this is about the finalize method. So first we seen the final keyword, then final block, and last we have seen finalize method. So if you like this video, you can hit like button and subscribe to our channel.